Now, latest updates on the Chiefs. Andy Reid reveals about injuries to the squad and also talks about a controversial play that occurred in the last loss. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated, leave your like, and let's get to the news. Kansas City Chiefs head coach Andy Reid met with reporters on Monday, and his updates about the team's wide receiver situation were anything but definitive. With the Philadelphia Eagles coming to Arrowhead this Sunday, Reid addressed questions about the availability of Xavier Worthy and Jalen Royals, two young wideouts who were expected to play big roles early in the season but are both battling injuries. Worthy, coming off a strong rookie campaign where he led all Chiefs wide receivers with 638 yards and 6 touchdowns, dislocated his shoulder just 3 plays into Kansas City's Week 1 loss to the Chargers in Sao Paulo. The injury occurred on a collision with Travis Kelce, and since then, speculation has been swirling about whether surgery might be required. Reid didn't rule Worthy out but kept expectations measured. "I know Xavier is the big question. He's rehabbing and working his shoulder," Reid told reporters. "We'll see where it goes, day by day. We'll see where we end up. That's hardly a guarantee, and Chiefs fans will be holding their breath as the week progresses." The other rookie wideout, Jalen Royals, missed Week 1 entirely with a knee injury that has sidelined him for weeks. Royals, who was drafted to add explosiveness to Kansas City's offense, remains questionable for Sunday. "Jalen is doing a good job with his rehab," Reid said. "We'll just see how that ends up this week. If neither Worthy nor Royals play, we've got guys that we played with the other night that are good football players." Still, the Chiefs' depth at the position is razor thin. With Rashee Rice suspended for 6 games after his reckless driving incident last spring, Kansas City is running out of options. If Worthy and Royals are sidelined again, the only available reinforcement would be rookie Jimmy Holiday, currently on the practice squad. That leaves Marquise Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Tyquan Thornton to carry the load against one of the NFL's best defenses. The questions don't stop there. Andy Reid was also asked about a controversial moment from the Week 1 loss when Chargers defensive lineman Ter Tart struck Travis Kelce in the head. Many expected Tart to be ejected, but officials allowed him to remain in the game. Reid expressed his frustration but also admitted he doesn't have all the answers. "I don't understand that by rule," Reid said. "I guess it's open hand, fist, whatever. I don't know all of that, but he definitely got hit in the head pretty hard. I think it's the open hand, closed hand deal. I don't know how you determine that, but which hurts more?" It was a vintage Reid response, part humor, part criticism, but the underlying message was clear: Kansas City is frustrated not just with the loss, but with how certain moments were handled. As the Chiefs prepare for the Eagles, the wide receiver situation looms largest. With Rice unavailable, Worthy uncertain, and Royals still rehabbing, Mahomes' supporting cast is shrinking fast. The reigning Super Bowl champions from Philadelphia will bring plenty of firepower to Arrowhead, and Kansas City may have to dig deep into its depth chart to keep pace. The Kansas City Chiefs head into the new workweek licking their wounds after a tough, uphill battle against the Los Angeles Chargers in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It was a historic venue for the NFL, but not the type of historic performance Chiefs fans were hoping to see from their reigning AFC West champions. The Chargers came ready to play and set the tone early. They controlled the pace of the game, keeping the Chiefs' offense off the scoreboard until the second quarter while building a 7-0 lead in the process. That early advantage put Kansas City on the back foot right from the start, and although Patrick Mahomes and company showed flashes of life, they never fully seized control. Of course, it's only Week 1. The first game of a 17-game schedule won't decide Kansas City's entire season, and fans know that the Andy Reid Mahomes era has proven resilient time and again. Still, the performance against Los Angeles raised some red flags. The Chiefs' margin for error is much slimmer than in past seasons, and the issues that surfaced in Brazil, if left uncorrected, could become recurring problems that haunt them down the stretch. One of the most glaring trends is the overwhelming dependence on Patrick Mahomes. Nobody questions his greatness. He's a 2-time MVP, a 3-time Super Bowl champion, and perhaps the most gifted quarterback of his generation. But asking even Mahomes to single-handedly carry the offense every week is not a sustainable formula, particularly in a conference as deep and competitive as the AFC. Mahomes did everything he could to keep Kansas City afloat against the Chargers. His final stat line won't fully tell the story of how much was on his shoulders. Not only was he asked to navigate an inconsistent passing attack, but he also led the team in rushing attempts and rushing yards, scrambling out of necessity as much as by design. He even scored one of Kansas City's few touchdowns on the ground, showing once again that his improvisational brilliance can manufacture points when everything else stalls. And therein lies the concern. For much of the opener, Kansas City's rushing attack was virtually non-existent. Isaiah Pacheco, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and the rest of the backfield couldn't establish consistent production between the tackles. That lack of balance made the Chiefs predictable, allowing the Chargers to focus their defensive schemes on pressuring Mahomes and locking down his receivers. When your quarterback is both your most dangerous passer and your leading rusher, that's not a healthy distribution of offensive responsibility. The silver lining is that Mahomes isn't completely alone. Despite the adversity, he still had trusted weapons to lean on, and they responded. Hollywood Brown, one of Kansas City's biggest offseason additions, lived up to his billing in his first regular season appearance with the franchise. Brown hauled in 99 receiving yards, flashing the speed and quickness that made him such a coveted deep threat. If he can stay healthy and continue to develop chemistry with Mahomes, he could become a crucial piece of the Chiefs' offensive identity in 2025. Then there's Travis Kelce, the future Hall of Fame tight end and Mahomes' most reliable partner in crime for the better part of a decade. Even at 35 years old, Kelce continues to defy expectations with his route running, hands, and ability to find soft spots in opposing defenses. Against Los Angeles, he posted 47 receiving yards and scored a touchdown, reminding everyone that even in his mid-30s, he remains one of the NFL's most dangerous playmakers. Juju Smith-Schuster also contributed as a steady possession receiver, helping to move the chains in key situations. Together, Brown, Kelce, and Juju formed the backbone of Mahomes' aerial attack in Week 1. The problem, of course, is that Kansas City's receiving core is severely depleted right now. Rashee Rice is suspended for 6 games. Xavier Worthy left the opener with a dislocated shoulder. Rookie Jalen Royals is nursing a knee injury. That leaves the Chiefs frighteningly thin at wide out, putting even more weight on the shoulders of Brown and Kelce to shoulder the offensive load. And while Mahomes has made a career out of elevating lesser-known receivers, the lack of continuity and depth at the position is a real concern. NFL defenses will adjust quickly if Kansas City cannot diversify its offensive threats. The Chargers already provided a blueprint in Week 1: limit the run game, pressure Mahomes, and force his second and third-tier receivers to beat you. This dynamic will be put to the test immediately in Week 2, when the Chiefs face the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia boasts one of the league's deepest defensive lines and a secondary that thrives on physicality. If Kansas City enters that matchup with the same imbalance, Mahomes leading in rushing and passing, they could quickly find themselves in another hole. For Kansas City to live up to its championship aspirations, the supporting cast around Mahomes must step up. Hollywood Brown has to become a consistent WR1. Kelce must continue to defy Father Time. The running game has to find some rhythm and efficiency, giving Mahomes the freedom to pick his spots rather than forcing him to play hero ball on every drive. And Andy Reid's coaching staff has to make sure this offense finds balance, creativity, and rhythm earlier in games, rather than waiting until halftime adjustments to spark life. It's far too early to panic. The Chiefs have started slow before, only to finish the season as one of the most dangerous teams in football. But this year feels different. The AFC is deeper, Mahomes' receiving core is thinner, and the Chiefs are already behind the 8 ball after a frustrating loss in an international spotlight game. For Kansas City, the key lesson from Week 1 is simple: they cannot afford to let Mahomes carry the weight of the offense by himself. He's good enough to do it occasionally, but no quarterback can do it every week and survive an NFL season unscathed. If Brown, Kelce, and the rest of the offense rise to the occasion, the Chiefs will once again be a force come playoff time. If not, they risk wasting another year of Mahomes' prime. One thing is certain: all eyes will be on Arrowhead this Sunday. Against a hungry Eagles team, the Chiefs have a chance to erase the bad taste of Brazil and prove that their Week 1 struggles were more of an anomaly than a trend.